Think of the last few times you set an ambition, and that ambition became so compelling out into your future, so clear, so articulated, at least to yourself, inside your mind as you represented this ambition. And imagine what it was like, or remember what it was like with this well-defined, well-calibrated, well-articulated ambition as you decided to pursue this ambition. It doesn't have to be a huge ambition. Just any time you had your sight on choosing something, a goal, an outcome, and it took time and effort to get there, but you got there, or at the very least, you moved in that direction. What was that like? Did it happen spontaneously? Did it just kind of evolve on its own? Or was this a deliberate process? Was this something you set out to do? According to a lot of psychologists, being in the process of pursuing something, of using your valuable time and resources, using your valuable energy to pursue an ambition, no matter how big or how small that ambition is, this is the purpose of life. We all come pre-programmed with unlimited desires. Some desires are easy to get. Some are so difficult to get, we don't even think of them as desires or goals or ambitions. We think of them in terms of vague wishes that we kind of hope will just kind of happen to us one day. But she was saying that when you deliberately create some kind of outcome, that's not easy, that's not automatic, that's not guaranteed, and you spend your time in the pursuit of that for a day or a week or a month or a year, that process is the only thing that really makes you feel alive. She was saying that most people today lack a sense of purpose. And for most of human history, we never really had to choose our purpose because we never really had a choice. We evolved under very harsh conditions where there were only a few things that we could get to stay alive: food, shelter, safety. So collectively, in our ancient hunter-gatherer tribes, as we pursued these collective ambitions, that gave us purpose. A purpose so strong that it pales in comparison to what you might be able to get today. At least if you just show up and hope it happens automatically. And until maybe before World War II, before the economy exploded and there were so many different ways to fulfill your financial needs, most people didn't have to think about this. You would just show up in life, go through school, get some kind of a job, and that was it. Life itself took care of your purpose and your ambition for you. And she was saying that's the double-edged sword today that most people experience. And unless you're a proactive individual, unless you are a forward-thinking individual, unless you make a deliberate choice to create some kind of ambition and pursue this ambition, it's possible that you might feel like you don't have any purpose because you're not part of any group, any ancient tribe, any company that is pursuing something worthwhile. So the question is, if you remember all of the things you've accomplished in your life, no matter how big, no matter how small, if you remember that state of mind you were in when you said, this is important, this is something that is worth pursuing, this is something that I'm going to spend my time and energy and effort and risk to pursue. Imagine the last few times, or remember the last few times you went through this process. because I know that more than most, you have an ambition that has served you over and over and over again. You wouldn't be watching this video otherwise. You wouldn't be spending time like you do on self-development otherwise, because you have something inside of you that maybe other people don't. You have certain experiences that maybe other people don't. You have certain ways of seeing and experiencing and operating within the world that maybe other people don't. So again, the question is, what is your ambition calibration strategies? When you take something that's a vague desire, maybe a wish, and it goes through the inner transformation process where you take this vague desire and you turn it into a specific, highly detailed, highly articulated, highly calibrated, bright, compelling, emotionally powerful ambition that you decide you're going to use your precious time and energy and resources to pursue. Because as you well know, life is filled with costs and opportunity costs. If you pursue something for a month or 6 months or a year using your energy and time and effort and very valuable thought, these are things you can't spend on something else. This is one of the reasons she was saying why most people are too afraid to set big goals. This is one of the reasons why most people are afraid to create an ambition. Because suppose you do create a huge ambition. Suppose you take this wish and you calibrate it into an ambition. You articulate it into an ambition, and you spend a year, 2 years, 3 years pursuing this massively desirable thing, but then you realize, maybe it wasn't all that. Maybe it wasn't as great as I thought. Maybe I should choose something different. This is what keeps people on the sidelines, too afraid to get in the game, because what if I pursue this and I don't get it? What if I fail? What if I get it, but it's not as awesome as I thought I was? These are all the swirling thoughts of self-doubt that keep people on the sideline. But what is it about you? What is it about you that have compelled you to pursue your ambitions like you have in the past? Is this something that happens automatically? Or is this a deliberate process that you have? It's very easy to get confused and look at somebody's life from the outside in and think there's some objective measure of happiness. But she was saying that people that have this inner creation, this inner desire, this inner defined sense of ambition, and when people pursue that, that is what causes happiness. It's not the objective value of your ambition. It's not what other people will think when they see you and your ambition. It's that this ambition is important to you, and you are spending your time and energy in the pursuit of this ambition. That daily grind towards something that you have decided is worth getting, that is what gives your life purpose. This is why people that are born into wealth tend to have, or sometimes have, or can have horrible lives. Because they've been born into such wealth and abundance, they've never really been forced to create some kind of ambition that they pursue on their own. So external measures of happiness are often a delusion. The real measure of happiness is what is important to you. What is it that you want out of life? If you had a magic wand and you could create the ideal future as far as wealth and finance and social skills and relationship situations, what would that look like? How would you know when you're on the path to get there? What kind of signals would you find on the way there that would give you feedback, that would give you validation, that would signal that you are on the path to this great ambition that is great only to you? And that's all that matters. on the path to your ambition, when you get closer and closer, what kinds of things do these feelings remind you of from your past? How have you chosen to pursue ambitions in the past? When you think of your greatest successes, your greatest accomplishments, how did you know that making the decision to pursue these accomplishments was the right thing to do? How did you know that making the decision to pursue these accomplishments was the best use of your time and your energy and your very, very valuable thinking process? How do you know when you're on the path to a true ambition? Because once you calibrate your ambition, your life will have purpose, something very few people experience today. And as you already know, life with purpose is much better than a life adrift, waiting for somebody to tell you what to do, waiting for success to fall into your lap spontaneously without any effort on your part. A life filled with purpose is a much more worthy, much more enjoyable, much more charismatic life. When you are living a life filled with purpose, your purpose that you took the time to define, this energy will come through your conversations. Because of the successes you've had in the past, you are already on the path to even better successes in the future. The more you calibrate your ambition, the more you define your ambition, the more you build up this ambition into a burning desire in your brain, the more you will feel your life's purpose. And this will lead to all kinds of discoveries and successes that you could not have planned. Because when you have this massive ambition way out here in the future and you're doing things every day to get there, along the path, you will discover aspects of life. You will discover successes. You will enjoy successes that you never could have otherwise enjoyed if you were just waiting for something to happen. Any future desire is an opportunity to transform that desire into a massive ambition that you can pursue and define the meaning of your life. Does it really matter that this is always going to be an ongoing process? Does it really matter that every step forward is going to be feedback from the world to help redefine your ambition? How many ways have you already discovered this? How many ways do you already understand this? No other self-development idea is as important as taking the time to decide what it is you want, what it is that is worth your time and energy to pursue. People that have ambitions, people that are in the pursuit of their ambitions, have much more enjoyable lives, are much more attractive, are much healthier. They live much longer lives. Luckily, it's very easy to build an ambition. Take the ideas you already have. Take all of your past successes and then just redefine them and project them out into the future. Once you begin to pursue your ambition, you'll realize what they mean when they say the road is better than the inn. All you need is an ambition out there, a year, 5 years out there. And when you're in the pursuit of that ambition, then you'll understand what it means, that the road is better than the inn. The path to your ambition, which gives your life purpose, is much more exhilarating than actually getting there. And it's not just about achieving your ambition, it's about all the other things, all the unexpected successes that you'll enjoy along the way. It is your deep desire, it is your unique thinking capabilities, it is your unique imaginations that will give you an edge as you pursue your ambition. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.